Hello student, this lecture is for class 10th. This is the 8th part of chapter number 1, that is life process. As I already told you that the chapter, that is life process, is basically divided into 4 parts. Number 1 is nutrition. Okay, that video is already uploaded, you can watch from that. Second one is respiration, that is also already uploaded. Third one is transportation is already uploaded in that. And last one is excretion. So some part of excretion, that is 2 lecture, that is already uploaded, that is part number 6 and 7. This is the remaining part, that is part number 8. So before starting this, I told you and I advise you to please just see all the videos which are uploaded, okay, and just see that very clear, especially part number 7, because in this part so many things are correlated with part 7. So the topics that we are going to cover in this one, number 1 is urine formation with the help of nephron. We all know the structure of nephron. You already seen that structure of nephron. Here I will again just labeling part I told you. Okay, next one is the stage of urine formation. This one is most important. This 2 part is most important, especially for the board examination. Okay, and both part will come. Okay, so if we are going to start that is urine formation, first I told you something about the kidney. As I already told you that one pair of kidney are present in our body. Inside the kidney are basically divided into 2 regions, that is cortex and medulla. In medulla there is a region, okay, where millions of nephrons are present. Okay, so I already told you that nephron is the unit of kidney. It means all the function are done by the nephron. So this one is the diagram that you already know about this diagram, but some labeling that I again told you, you can watch from that. This is structure, this one, this is the broader structure. Okay, this one is called afferent arterioles. Okay, this is broader one. Okay, this one is called as efferent arteriole. Okay, this one is narrower one. Okay, so both structure is very clearly inward. You see that this structure, this is just like a capsule structure, like the capsule you see, it is just like a capsule. So when we open the capsule, there is this one part and this one part differentiated. Okay, so this part are formed by the fusion of so many arteries here. So this part that I already told you, this part is called as glomerulus capsule. This one is called as glomerulus capsule. Okay, this lower part, this lower part is called as Bowman's capsule, which I already told you. Bowman's capsule, B for below, so you can easily learn from that. B for below, it means B for Bowman's capsule. Okay, this Bowman's capsule is preceded with a coiled part. This is the coiled part, is called as PCT, that is proximal convoluted tubules. This one. Okay, this one is the proximal convoluted tubules. There are so many microvilli are present. Okay, ciliated epithelial cells are present. So here is reabsorption and reabsorption take place. Okay, now this part you see, this one. Okay, and this part is basically a loop of Henle or Henle loop. Okay, this one is the descending one, this is the hairpin, and this one is the ascending one. Okay, so three part that you already know. Okay, preceding this, some another coil part is there. This is the another coil part. So this coil part is called as DCT, that is distal, distal, distal convoluted tubules. This part is called as distal convoluted tubules. It is inside that there are so many microvilli cells. Okay, and ciliated epithelial cells are present in that. The same cells are present in both, that is PCT and DCT. Okay, PCT it means proximal convoluted tubule, and DCT is the distal convoluted tubules. Okay, so this one is called as collecting duct. Okay, this one is called collecting duct where urine will be collected and easily transmittable. Okay, now come back to next one. Okay, we all know that this afferent arteriole have broader structure. Okay, so if the blood will enter inside that, and blood have many components, you all know that already, but here blood have many materials inside that. Okay, just like sodium, potassium, chlorine, some ions, some protein, amino acid. So all the material which include blood, okay, are enter inside it, enter through it. Okay, when it was enter, okay, from here it will become here. Okay, after that it will be grow from that side. Okay, so we all know that the structure of this one, that is afferent artery, have broader, and this one is narrower. So it create partial pressure or pressure here. Okay, so with the pressure, this one is the semi-permeable membrane, both are the semi-permeable membrane. So due to pressure, some minerals are just transfer from glomerulus capsule to the Bowman's capsule, from here to the here. Okay, now see this one. Okay, so due to this pressure, some material will be easily transferred from glomerulus to the Bowman's capsule. Okay, some material will be not will be transferred, just like protein will be not transferred due to its larger size. Only the protein will be not transferred from glomerulus capsule to the Bowman's capsule due to its larger size. Okay, so it can be easily transferred through this. Okay, so question will be arise in maximum examination that which molecule or which material will be absorbed by large intestine but not reabsorbed by glomerulus filtrate, that is called as protein. Okay, now when the material will become inside the Bowman's capsule, all the material will become from glomerulus to the Bowman's capsule. These material are transferred in PCT. Okay, now first you see. Okay, this is the transfer. When the material will be transferred from PCT, okay, some function will be there. You can see it very clearly. Their function is sodium, that is sodium, potassium, chlorine. It means all the ions, water, glucose, bicarbonate are reabsorbed. Okay, all the ions and water, glucose and bicarbonates are reabsorbed. Now you see that this one is a afferent artery. This afferent artery, if we draw it, then it will become from here to here, okay, and it will go from there. Again you see this afferent artery, okay, it will be draw, so here it will become from here to the here and here, okay. So after reabsorbing by the PCT, okay, all the material, that is sodium, potassium, chlorine, water, sodium, potassium, chlorine, water, glucose, bicarbonates, or whatever is that, is absorbed by the PCT and transferred into the efferent arterioles. So efferent arterioles receive all the component and distributed in our body. Okay, now see this. So here we see that this part you have to learn, because this one is the important part, because sometime it will be asked that which components are reabsorbed in PCT. Okay, now the material will be transferred easily, okay. When it was transferred, it will be enter in loop of Henle. So we all know that in loop of Henle there is a descending hairpin and once it ascending. Now in loop of Henle, this one is the loop of Henle, there is a reabsorption and secretion of water and various metabolic occur, okay. This one is important, especially this one. Secretion of water, reabsorption and secretion of water take place in loop of Henle, okay. So one question will be arise that why in herbivorous animal loop of Henle, why in herbivorous animal loop of Henle, this loop of Henle will be long, okay, not in the carnivorous animal, because we all know that green plants have cell wall. It means plant have cell wall, okay. So it is made up of cellulose. Cellulose require water for the digestion, and here we see that in loop of Henle we see that there is a reabsorption of secretion of water. So in herbivorous animal, this one is the larger one, because it help to digest, or it help to filter and reabsorb that one is cellulose structure, okay. Now it will be transferred into the DCT, that is DCT. This one is the DCT part, okay. One thing that I told you, whatever the work of PCT, this one PCT, whatever the work of PCT is same the work of DCT, same work of DCT, okay. So you can easily learn, first you learn the PCT, then DCT will be easily learned. So if it will be transferred, then same thing is that sodium, potassium, rest part, that is sodium ion, potassium ion, sodium chloride, water, glucose or bicarbonate are reabsorbed in DCT also. So in this way it will be transferred, okay. When it enter into the collecting duct, this one is the collecting duct, this one is the collecting duct, okay. So in collecting duct, one ADH hormone is present, ADH hormone, that is anti-diuretic hormone. Sometime in emergency situation we just take it, we just hold our urine, so at that time this ADH hormone will be released in our body, okay, which act as reabsorb the excess water and decrease the urine volume, okay. This is only secreted in the emergency situation, normally it was not secreted. So in emergency situation ADH hormone will be releases in our body and it absorb some water, okay, and decrease the volume of urine, okay. So in this way the urine will become outside, okay. Once again I told you, once again, because this one is the most important. Once again I told you, this is called as afferent arterioles. Here is broader one. Okay, so inside that, blood enter with all its component and materials. Okay, it create pressure here, because we all know that efferent artery, this one is the efferent one, have narrow in. Okay, so it create pressure here. This one is the glomerulus capsule. It create pressure, so all the material will be transferred in Bowman's capsule. This process is called as glomerulus filtration, because the filter is come from, because the main who is filter in this, that is glomerulus capsule, have filter all the component into the Bowman's capsule. So this filtration is called as glomerulus filtration, and the components which are filter and enter inside the Bowman's capsule are called as glomerulus filtrate. Okay, this one is important, bear in mind it. Only protein will be not filtered due to its larger size. Okay, after entering all the component, it will become inside the PCT. In PCT there is a reabsorption of all the ions, glucose, water and bicarbonates. Okay, after reabsorption, okay, it will be transferred into the loop of Henle. Inside the loop of Henle, okay, there is a reabsorption and secretion of water and various metabolic. Okay, here, so in herbivorous animal, this loop of Henle is larger as comparison to the carnivorous animal. Okay, now the next one, it transfer into the, that is DCT. This one is the DCT. The same work, the whatever the work of PCT, the same work is DCT. Okay, then it will be later it will be, we all know that the work of PCT, that is all the ions, glucose, water, bicarbonates are reabsorbed, so the work is same, that is DCT work. Now it will enter into the collecting duct. Inside the collecting duct, in emergency situation, one hormone is released, that is ADH, that is antidiuretic hormone, which reabsorb the excess amount of water which was collecting into the collecting duct. Okay, it absorb excess amount of water to decrease the volume of urine. It was secreted in the emergency situation, not in the proper way. Okay, so urine is collected, and here it will be easily removed from the body. So this one is the urine formation. There are so many stages are there, which later we will discuss it. But first thing that I told you, okay, if you want to write, you have to write in your own way. Okay, now next one, that is stages of urine formation. Here are 3 steps we have to discuss about that. We already know that there is a filtration take place in glomerulus to the Bowman's capsule. Okay, then in the PCT and DCT, and in the loop of Henle. So here are 3 stages we are discussing. Number 1 is 3 stages, that is number 1 is glomerulus filtration, that I already told you. Glomerulus filtration is what, all the components, all the blood components are enter from the afferent artery. Okay, and it will be filtered from glomerulus capsule to the Bowman's capsule. This filtration is called as glomerulus filtration, and the components which are filtered is called as glomerulus filtrate. This one. Okay, glomerulus filtration occur in glomerulus where blood is filtered. This process occur across the 3 layer, that is epithelium of Bowman's capsule, endothelium of glomerulus vascule, and membrane of 2 layers. Okay, especially basically you have to learn about all the component when transferred from glomerulus capsule to the Bowman's capsule, that is called as glomerulus filtrate, and this process is called as glomerulus filtration. Okay, blood is filtered in such a way that all the constituent of plasma reach the blood capsule except protein, because we all know that protein have a larger in size. All the components are transferred from glomerulus to the Bowman's capsule except protein. Okay, therefore this process is called as ultrafiltration. This question will become in the examination, what is ultrafiltration? So you have to write that glomerulus filtration is also called as ultrafiltration, because maximum components of the blood are easily transferred. This one is the easy one that you have to learn it. Okay, so next one is tubular reabsorption. In tubular reabsorption we have to only discuss about the three component or basically we have to know about discuss about the two components, that is PCT and DCT. PCT, that is proximal convoluted tubule, and DCT, that is distal convoluted tubule. Okay, so we all know that all the ions, water, glucose are reabsorbed in PCT and DCT. So here it was, if you want to write in your own language, you have to write it. Now when the globulus filtrate come to the proximal convoluted tubule, then the essential nutrients are reabsorbed, that I already told you. When the component are transferred from glomerulus filtrate to the Bowman's capsule to the PCT. Okay, then the nutrients which are present in the blood except protein are reabsorbed here. Okay, next one, glucose, amino acid, water, ions like sodium, potassium, chloride, bicarbonate, magnesium, calcium are reabsorbed from the glomerulus filtrate. Okay, basically here glomerulus filtrate is what I think that you not know. Glomerulus filtrate, it means the component which transfer from glomerulus to Bowman's capsule, that is called as glomerulus filtrate. Okay, so if you want to write any component, okay, glucose, amino acid, protein, not protein, that is water, ions, sodium and potassium ion, sodium chloride, bicarbonates, you can easily write it, no problem is that. Okay, are reabsorbed in PCT. Okay, when the filtrate finally come to the conducting duct, that is conductive duct, ADH act and reabsorb the excess water and decrease the urine volume. Okay, as we all know that the work of PCT and DCT are same. PCT and DCT work, it means proximal convoluted tubule and distal convoluted work are basically same. Both are help to reabsorb the glucose, amino acid, ions, water. So when there is the formation of urine, when it was enter into the collecting duct, okay, in emergency situation there is a hormone, that is ADS, antidiuretic hormone, are help to reabsorb and absorb the excess amount of water to decrease the volume of urine. Tubular secretion, here we will discuss about the only and only loop of Henle. As I already told you in the previous part, loop of Henle is basically divided into three way, that is basically we will discuss that one is one is a descending loop, next one is ascending loop, and middle one is hairpin loop. So all the functions are same, but here you see that the next step in urine formation is tubular secretion, and I already know you. Here tubular cell secretes substance like hydrogen ion, potassium ion, etc. into the filtrate. One thing that I told you, in our body, okay, two pump is operated, that in higher classes you know about that very well. Sodium and potassium pump is operated in our body, okay, in all blood and especially in the nephron, which regulated all the components through in our body. Through that our body are homeostasis. Okay, so here is also, by this process the ionic acid balance and the balance of our body fluid are maintained, that I already told you. Through this way, okay, our total balance of body will be maintained. It means acid and base ionic will be maintained. Tubular secretion basically take place in the loop of Henle, basically in the descending loop, ascending loop, and hairpin loop. Okay, tubular secretion is very important because question was also come in herbivorous, and just I already told you that in herbivorous animal while loop of Henle will be larger but not in the carnivorous animal. So this type of question will become. Okay, this secreted ions combine with the filtrate to form urine. Okay, the ions which are releases the ions which are reabsorbed by the efferent artery, but some ions are present in that ions are combined with the other filtrate, globulus filtrate, okay, and help in the formation of urine. Okay, the urine pass out of the nephronic tubule into the collecting duct. That I already told you. All the urine are collected into the collecting duct, and if in emergency situation, if ADH hormone is released, which reabsorb the excess amount of water, which help to decrease the urine volume. Okay, next one. Now some key points of urine formation and osmoregulation. There are so many key points are that. Okay, you can just remind it, only you have to remind it. Urine is formed in 3 steps that I already told you: glomerulus filtration, okay, reabsorption and secretion. Glomerulus filtration is when filter of any blood substance from glomerulus to the Bowman's capsule. Reabsorption and secretion. It comprises that 95% of water and 5% of waste, that is such as iron, sodium, potassium, and calcium, and nitrogen waste such as creatinine, urea, and ammonia. There are so many. Osmoregulation is the process to maintain our body homeostatics. Homeostatics mean constant, mean acid base components will be maintained in our body in this process. Okay, it facilitates diffusion of solute and water across the same pulmonary membrane, thereby maintaining osmotic balance. Osmotic balance should be maintained. We all know that in the component will be transferred from higher concentration to the lower concentration, is basically called a diffusion. So here we see that in due to the pressure, okay, osmotic pressure or osmotic balance, the components that is transferred from glomerulus to the Bowman's capsule, and later we will proceeding in the pre-CT, loop of Henle, and DCT. Okay, in kidney, regulate the osmotic pressure of blood through the filtrate and purify this process called as osmoregulation. If you want to write that this one, it will also write down. Okay, now if you see the diagram once again, you see that very carefully. If we preceding this diagram, okay, now here this one is basically called as renal corpus. Renal corpus means renal body or afferent and efferent. Okay, here generate the glomerulus filtrate composed by water and small molecules. From here it can be pressure created. So here it is called generate the glomerulus filtrate by the water and the molecules, because here filtrate is pressure created. Here that is PCT, that is proximal convoluted tubule. In proximal convoluted tubule there is a reabsorption, that I already told you. Reabsorption of so many ions: sodium chloride, amino acid, bicarbonate, calcium, and phosphate, and it also secretes some ammonia and creatinine. Okay, it secretes some ammonia and creatinine which can be easily removed from the body through by the collecting duct. Okay, this is loop of Henle. Basically loop of Henle or Henle loop reabsorb ammonia, water, sodium, and chloride. Basically you have to learn that it help to absorb water. Okay, this one is that PCT, sorry, this one is the DCT, that is distal convoluted tubule. In distal convoluted reabsorption of sodium chloride, whatever the function of PCT is same as the function of DCT, so you have to learn from that. Next one, this is called as collecting duct. In collecting duct there is the some reabsorption of sodium chloride and water and ADH hormone, that you already know that. If you want to learn this one, you have to easily learn this one. Otherwise the same function whatever that told earlier, you have to learn from that. This one is the little bit difficult, but in higher classes you have to learn from this one, but that previous one it will be easy. Okay, now next you see this one diagram. If you want to just learn through this, This is the easy one. You see that here all the filtration, that is this one is water, glucose, urea, NaCl ions will be entered inside the Bowman's capsule. From it here it will be enter, and here is the reabsorption. You see that reabsorption of calcium, glucose, amino acid. Okay, after that it will be enter into the loop of Henle. Here you see that there is a reabsorption of water, and again it was enter into the DCT, that is digital converter tubule. So many ions, and there is a secretion of hydrogen and potassium, because sodium potassium pump will be operated, and it will be entered into the collecting duct. In the collecting duct there is a water molecules, and here is the urine pass. Okay, so this one is easy one. If you want to learn this one, that is okay, no problem in that.